Hello there and welcome to this video. This is Rajat here from Startup Frat, and today what we are going to do is we are going to talk about a little bit about LIC and mutual fund selling. Okay, so I've been getting a bunch of comments into the group and then into email talking about LIC and mutual fund selling. So I thought I'll make a quick detailed video, and then I'll probably point you to a resource where you can find more clarity. Okay, so let's get started. Now, usually what happens is that I do a lot of webinars for performance marketing people, which is people who are selling on commission, and a significant percentage of performance marketing or commission selling guys are from LIC, which is insurance selling as an insurance agent or as an insurance advisor or distributor, or mutual fund selling, people who are selling mutual funds as a DSA or on commission, or even if you're working as a salesperson in, let us say, ICICI Prudential, and you get a significant amount of your bonuses from the actual volume sale. So this video is going to be for you. Now, as part of these webinars that I do and live sessions, I always run a survey, and the funny thing is most people I ask who are into the insurance business, insurance selling business or mutual fund selling business, I ask them what is your how many years have you been doing this particular business, and most people, more than 60% of people say I've been doing this for, let us say, more than 2 years. So usually I'm talking to a very experienced set of people. They're not new. They know the tricks of the trade. They know the sales. They have the sales skills. They also have the people networking skills. That's why they've been around for probably more than 2 years. And then I ask them, what is your usual take home? If you're working 100% of commission, what's your usual take home commission? And then most people say that they're making up to, let us say, 50,000 rupees. Okay, up to 50,000 rupees. Okay, actually majority is inside of 20,000 rupees. Majority is inside of 20,000 rupees. So about 60% people of these people say inside of 20,000 rupees, and then 40% of them are making 20 to 50,000 rupees a month in commissions. Okay, so this is where if you're in that position, then you will probably relate more to this. If you have already put in your years of grinding hard work and you've already built your network, if you've reached 4-5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees a month, then you can still benefit from the ideas I tell you in this in this video. But you may think to yourself, hey man, I've already achieved all of this, so this video may not be for me. Okay, entirely up to you to watch it. However, I can guarantee that the techniques I'm going to tell you are new age techniques which everybody can utilize at regardless of whatever level they are. All right. So assuming that you're making about 50,000 rupees a month, we're going to start talking from that particular scenario. Okay. Now, how do you increase your income to at least 6 figures or more? Because obviously, if you're living in any city of India today, even if you're in a tier 2, tier 3 city of India, it's pretty expensive. You need a family income of at least 6 figures. Ideally, probably 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees a month family income in order to live comfortably. Okay, in order to just put the struggles behind you. Okay, I also do understand a lot of people may be doing insurance selling, insurance advisory as a part-time. If you're a mompreneur, if you're doing it in your part-time or something, so those pressures may not apply to you. But if you're in the business and it's simple to get to 6 figures, why not get to 6 figures? And that's what we are going to discuss in the video today. All right. So very simple, we're going to talk about two main concepts that we always talk about in Startup Frat. The first is, if you're working on commission, you are a business person. So think of yourself as a business person and start doing what most business persons do or what most real companies do. Okay, so real company CEOs, and these days we have programs like Shark Tank and all of these programs on TV where small business owners are presenting their idea to these big investors, and these big investors are asking them questions, and that is how you gauge the health of any business. So if you're into business, even if you're into commission selling, the health of your business, two main factors is what is the CPA/CAC, which is cost of acquisition of a customer, or we call it cost per acquisition. How much money does it take for you to acquire a customer? Okay, which is rupees X, Y, ABC or whatever. We're going to fill this out right now. And then what is the LCV, lifetime customer value of a customer, which means how much money does it take for me to get a customer into the door so that I start earning commission on whatever they're buying from the insurance company or the mutual fund, and then how much total what do you call it, how much total money am I going to make from these customers over a period of time. Okay, usually when you have commission selling, you have a lot of motivational training, lot of motivational stuff being taught to you by somebody in the management, somebody in the company, or if you're into multi-level marketing or something, somebody who's in your upline. They say, oh, there may be less money in the short term, but if you keep doing it, then in the long term there's like a lot of money. You can just relax, and money will follow you around. Okay, so you want to think to yourself right now, if you've been working for over 2 years, okay, and if your income is, let's say, 15,000-20,000 rupees, or even less than 50,000 rupees or something, you want to think to yourself, it's already been 2 years, what can I do to increase the cash flow? Because I cannot be waiting around for 5-10 years. That is, I feel it is unfair in the commission selling industry to be telling people, hey, just keep doing whatever you're doing, and over a period of time, in 5-10 years, you'll become successful. And then they'll present some guy, like 1 out of 1,000 people who will be successful, and they say, well, look at this guy, he did exactly this for 5 years, 10 years, and he can be successful. You can be successful too. Well, the cost that you're giving is 2 to 5 years or 10 years of your life. Yeah, so be very, very careful of people who tell you this, because business is not that complicated. It is difficult, but it is not that complicated. That just keep doing this stuff that has not worked for you for the last 2 years, and just keep doing it, and it will work in 5 years, right? It doesn't matter. Like, you could just quit this whole stuff and just literally go and work for a private MNC or something. You'd make more money than this, right? And that money you can keep saving and keep putting it in a mutual fund yourself, become an investor, and you will be all set in 10 years anyway, right? So all of these dreams of do the same thing again and again and expect a different result, that is not true. I'm going to show you exactly how you can fix that, what is the way in which to think about it, and what are the metrics that you need to look long and hard. And you can do this at home yourself. You don't need to discuss with anybody. You don't need to discuss with your boss. Anybody who's going to be negative about your, the new things that you're learning or the things that you're doing, to watch out for your own financial future. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some quick facts and figures. If the numbers are slightly different for you, then you can just extrapolate your own numbers. Okay, you can extrapolate your own numbers. What is the cost of acquiring a customer, and how much does this customer pay you over a period of time, which could be ABC plus something, right? So obviously, if it costs you a little bit of money, big businesses only think about how much does it cost for me to acquire a customer. They don't think anything else. And then how much is this customer paying me over a lifetime value? Okay. So then obviously this figure has to be greater than this figure, which is the amount of money that you make in commission from every customer that you acquire has to obviously be more than the money that you spend to acquire this customer. Okay, a lot of you must be saying, I don't spend any money on advertising, I don't spend any money to acquire a customer, I just make my own phone calls, I have my own network. That is fine, but you're still spending money, and I'll show you how. Okay, so what happens is, let us say your 50,000 rupees a month is your average take home these days after spending 2 years in this industry. Then what is your per hour take home? Yeah, most people work about 200 hours a week, 200 hours a month. So you take the monthly income divided by 200 and you come to 250 rupees per hour. Okay, so if you are in this income segment, your hourly rate is 250 rupees per hour. That means every hour, broadly, that's what you're collecting. So you got to think in terms of that. The second thing is, most people in the insurance industry, they're able to sign probably 3 to 4 good clients, maybe 5 good clients in a month. Okay, and what they earn in the first commission check, the first commission check is the heaviest, because you make 12 to 30% of commission in their first payment, and then it reduces to 3 to 5%. So the continuity that they're going to make in the renewal premium payments is much lesser. So you're worrying about getting customers in through the door, because that is your biggest earning, and then you'll have a little bit of earning from renewals and things like that. Okay, most customers today, they take at least 3 hours of FaceTime. This is a signing customer. With any signing customer, if you met them for the first time, or if you have got their reference through somebody, you got their number and then you're calling them, most customers need 3 hours of FaceTime, which is you'll meet them once, you'll meet them a second time, and you'll meet them a third time for collecting the check or filling out the forms or something like that. Okay, 3 hours of FaceTime. Now when I say FaceTime, post lockdown, this FaceTime could be phone time also, because you're spending time telling them, sir, or ma'am, your documents were incorrect, this other document, we need this other document, this document is not looking good, etc. Excuse me. Okay, so 3 hours of FaceTime to sign up a customer. Okay, and this customer will pay you roughly about, let us say, 15,000 rupees of commission. Yeah, they sign with a 50,000 rupee premium, 80,000 rupee premium, whatever. You'll probably make about 15,000 rupees from this particular customer. Okay, now for every one of these customers, there's a ratio which is 1:7. In the insurance industry, if you've been able to work it out to much better than that, I congratulate you, you use your own numbers, which means this signing customer is eating 3 hours of your time to make that check payment that pays you 15,000 rupees. And for every one of these signing customers, you're investing another seven customers that are not really signing, or they're signing with them really low amount, like 2,000 rupees or something like that. They'll say, oh, I'll buy the policy that gives me I'll buy the term plan which has like a 5,000 rupee premium, and that gives you hardly any commission. So you'll have these small people who are wasting your time, essentially a waste of your time. Okay, and these are the guys that you're also wasting your time with, because it's only if you go through 5, 6, 7 of these guys that you'll find your gold mine, right? So these guys are also eating up at an average of 1.5 hours each before you figure out that they're a waste of your time, right? Because you're going to WhatsApp them, call them, probably deal with them a little bit. So you've got another 10 hours. Okay, another 10 hours of FaceTime. Now this is 13 hours to get a 12 to 15,000 rupee commission from the first check or the first signing up. Okay, now your income may seem to be like roughly about 1,000 rupees per hour, but it is not so, because traveling time is also included over here, processing time is also included over here. You also have to deal with the back office who are going to call you back and say, okay, this is not right, just do this, do that, or whatever. So there is some transit involved in addition to FaceTime. I'm talking about FaceTime or phone time with the customer. Okay, so you add all of that traveling time, running around, getting the signature or getting the check and all of this stuff, and the whole thing is going to work out to probably about 250-300 rupees per hour. Okay, now the cost of acquiring a customer is 13 hours, okay, into 250 rupees. 13 hours to 250 rupees, or you can add more hours over here, obviously, because you'll have close to about, all inclusive of travel time or something, you'll have 40 hours. Okay, 40 hours into 250. Okay, that is about 10,000 rupees. 10,000 rupees to acquire a customer. 10,000 rupees to acquire a customer. Okay, and then this customer pays you about 15,000 rupees in commission. Let's say they cut a check for 60,000 rupees, you make a commission of 12,000 in the first year, then maybe another 2,000 or 3,000 in the second year, and then it tapers off, right? So you're talking about 15,000. Okay, now I'm not going to count any referral or something over here, because even if they do give you referral, you still have to do the same thing. You still have to call them up and follow all the FaceTime. Okay, so basically you're spending 10,000 rupees to earn 15,000. I'm not going to talk about the fact that your job is field work, which means in addition to the time spent and the notional cost and all that we just calculated, there's a whole amount of running around in the sun and the rain, which is going to take its toll on you in 5 to 10 years, right? So it's not that easy to sustain it beyond a certain point. So if you started as a 25-year-old, by 35 you'll be getting a little tired of it. If you started as a 30, 32-year-old, by the time you get to become 40, 42, you must be wondering, man, what am I doing? Is this the kind of life I want to lead? And we're going to go into these problems later. I just want to create the problems right now so I can solve them for you later, in case you resonate with these problems. Okay, so you're paying 10,000 rupees to make 15,000, and you get 2 or 3 good signups every month, and that's how your income becomes, close to about, let's say, 50,000 rupees a month. Different people may have different structures, like I said. So if your structure is different, I'm just throwing out some numbers and figures here. Don't hold me to it. Okay. Now what our next goal is, our goal is to reduce this whole thing, the number of hours that it is taking to sign up one customer. Okay, to reduce this time reduce this time so that our cost to acquire a customer becomes less and less and less till it comes to, let's say, maybe 2 or 3,000 rupees. Okay, and thus you basically make 5 times the income, because if you reduce the number of hours, you will either be able to handle more customers or you'll be able to work in lesser amount of time, thus giving your constructive time to certain other things, which could be building your brand, building your lead generation or something like that, right? So all of the stuff that you do manually, which is getting references, getting phone numbers, calling them manually, or a lot of people also do Facebook ads. They say, I do Facebook ads, and it doesn't help me because the quality of the leads is lower. I'd much rather just invest my time getting references because the quality of the leads is higher. I totally agree with that, and we will go into all of these issues. But the main goal, just remember, the main goal is to reduce cost per customer acquisition and the lifetime value per customer. Okay, so the cost of customer acquisition has to be reduced, lifetime customer value has to be increased. If you can do that consistently, then not only will you make more money in the 30 days of working days that you have, or 25 working days in a month that you have, but also you will have enough cash cushion to build out a team only on your own payroll. You don't need to wait for the company to make you a manager or a distributor or a senior distributor and put people under you. You can literally build out your own team on your payroll, and these people do not need to be sub distributors that you need to constantly keep motivating and just keep pushing them all the time. You can keep people on your payroll that perform certain functions for you, like telecalling, that actually converts into revenue at a predictable pace. Yeah, a lot of people on the insurance side or mutual fund side, they're like, oh, I'm going to build a team, and the team is usually these other people who are also trying to be sub distributors. Maybe they don't even have an IRDA license or something, but their only job is to keep bringing business to you from their own friends and family, or from wherever. Just keep motivating them and keep having Zoom meetings with them, which is an essential waste of your time. You cannot suddenly make somebody a salesperson when they have not been a salesperson. What you can do is break down the sales process so that you can hire people at your own expense and pay them to perform those functions so that your sales pipeline performs better. Okay, let's just figure out how this thing works. Okay, now your goal is to reduce the cost per acquisition and increase the lifetime customer value. So what do you do? Yes, you can get leads from Facebook, and then what are you going to do is you're going to call them regardless of where the lead comes from. You're still going to have to call them, still going to have to spend the face time, the traveling time and everything. Okay, now what we're going to do is, at the end of the day, the check comes from a decision. The check comes from a decision, and the decision comes from 2 or 3 things. The decision comes from familiarity. The decision comes from trust. Okay, and the decision comes from call to action, which is based on your relationship with them. How fast can you get them to sign that check? Yeah, a lot of people, when they start newly as insurance distributors or something, what they do is they're able to quickly get some checks out because in their friends and family they're able to say, well, I just started as an insurance distributor, why don't you buy some insurance from me? And then some people will immediately give them checks saying, okay, I was anyway going to buy it, why don't I buy from you? You're my friends and family. And then they will immediately get some immediate business. However, when they start to expand outside their immediate circle, when they start getting referrals, when they start getting Facebook leads or any kind of leads, then what happens is that the time that you're spending in front of the customer, the time that you're doing to educate them and travel to their house, what the customer is doing is they're taking the information, then they say, let me think about it. Then they want to go to money control and double check everything. Then they want to call their mamaji's son's father-in-law because they were also in the same industry and all of that. So you're providing all this free education to them. Then to do the decision taking, they go outside, and anything that they do outside takes them away from you, regardless of whether they go to money control, regardless of whether they contact their mamaji's son's father-in-law or something like that, right? So anything that they do, they basically goes away from them. Until that time, you've already invested your time in doing a phone call, probably doing a visit or something like that. Okay, so we don't do any of this stuff in the lean startup model that we follow at Startup Frat. I'll just give you some glimpses into it. What we do is, how do you build familiarity? How do you build familiarity? Assuming that you're doing Facebook ads, even if you're doing some organic marketing, we build a system. If you're doing Facebook ads, it's very easy because you can do landing page, thank you page and all that technology stuff, right? you want to get them to watch at least 5 to 7 impressions. 5 to 7 impressions of you, helping them take that decision in their own mind. Okay, what a customer wants to do is they don't want to act on the knowledge that somebody else has given them at the time of writing a check, because the trust factor is never there. Okay, this is what this fellow is saying, I got to double check everything later, let me think about it, let me go to money control or whatever, right? So what you're going to do is, you're not going to talk about your product whatsoever. You're not going to talk about your product whatsoever, but you're going to help them take a decision on how they should achieve financial stability, an early retirement, plan for their kids' college fund or something, whatever the end goal might be. And you're going to provide this using either your Facebook ad or landing page video, or even like a Facebook group video like I'm doing right now. I recommend that all of our students in the academy, we recommend you build a Facebook group, because it is free to build and it is free to maintain. And then it should be you on camera. Yeah, not some material that you give them, not anything like this. It should be some with you on camera that is talking to them like I'm talking to you right now, and giving them good education and information on how they should plan their finances. Okay, what is a person investing into insurance looking for? They're looking for financial stability. They're looking for planning for their daughter's wedding, planning for their daughter's college fund education or something like that somewhere down the line, or they're planning for a retirement, they want to be taken care of. So they're looking for some financial result. Okay, you got to be talking to the financial result without bringing your product into it first. Okay, and you do 5 to 7 impressions, during which time you can you can actually you can build that trust, you can build that familiarity. Okay, now trust is built in 3 stages. Trust is built in 3 stages. You're still not talking about your product. You're not saying I'm fala insurance advisor, fala. Yeah, I see a lot of insurance advisors in our own startup hangout. They put these posts, and the post appears to me to publish, and I never publish it, because it's always like, oh, this is what I do, this is my phone number, and all this spammy stuff. Yeah, don't do all this spammy stuff. So what you do is, trust is built in 3 different layers. Okay, the first important layer is why. Why. The second important layer is how. Okay, how. And the third is the what. Okay, now the what is you or your product. Okay, but the how and the why should not be you or your product. Now what is why? Let's talk about why. Why people should look at financial stability early on in life, and how much time does it take for you to plan for good financial stability. Every time you're selling somebody insurance or mutual fund, you're going to be talking about this whole long-term stuff, right? That you invest money today, but over the long term, you'll be taken care of. Over the long term, you're going to bring in all these long-term things, and that time the customer is going to get confused, and they'll be like, I don't want to stick my money in a lock-in period or anything like that. Those things are going to come into their mind. So what you're going to do is, these 5 to 7 impressions are going to talk to them about why they need to think long-term, giving them actual data of how the stock markets work, how does inflation work, how do taxation work, and how do retirement corpuses and funds deplete over time. Yeah, you give them that information. That's a good why information, that they should start thinking, they should come into the exact frame of mind that you want them to be, yeah, when you actually make a sale to them, right? So you're going to pre-frame them all of this stuff, and it's going to be value education, and you're not talking about your own product or anything like that. So if they wanted to go and check with their Mamaji's son's father-in-law, they have ample time to do it now. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're throwing out the idea and giving them ample time to do it now, right? Do check it out. And in your video, you should say that if you know anybody who has been in this industry, you should absolutely check this, etc., etc. So they know that this information is being given to them with no ulterior motive. Yeah, they should know that this guy just gave me some lot of good information. Their respect for you will increase. Yeah, and then if they want to double check anything with anyone, they have ample time to do that. The second thing is how. Like, what does an ideal portfolio look like? Like, what component of their portfolio should be insurance money? Yeah, you should talk about that a little bit. You should talk about giving figures, like I gave you figures. Yeah, I have figures because I do run a lot of live sessions, webinars. I always poll my students, even people who are prospective students. I always poll them and say, well, how much money are you making? You know, how many years have you been in this business, right? So I have all these figures. You will also have these figures about your clients. So most people, or ma'am, most people that I work with you are in your exact demographic or in your age group, doing the same thing or same kind of business that you are in. They usually plan for a retirement corpus, or they usually plan for a retirement of income of at least 2 lakh rupees a month. Would that be fair to say that you are in the same segment, or would it be higher or lower? And let them tell you that, right? So if you, when you meet them, you can ask them all these questions, and over a period of time you'll get a very good idea of what is a good ideal retirement income. Now what you got to do is you got to give them some ideas on what kind of balanced portfolio they should have across mutual funds, stock, insurance, retirement funds, PPF, whatever it is, in order to go to that goal. Out of all these components, only one component is your product, which could be insurance, let us say. But now what you've done is you preceded in their mind that this is what an ideal portfolio looks like. Yeah, and this component, which is 10% of that component or 15% of that component, should be insurance premium or something like that, right? Now what happens is, the third thing is the what, which is you. Okay, at that point, what you're going to do is your third video, fourth video, or if you're in a Facebook group, what you can do is you can call on people and say, well, this Saturday I have 3 hours of time free, so I will be able to give free consultations of 30 minutes because it's free. I cannot spend more than 30 minutes. Yeah, so if you want, you can book yourself a free consultation with me. Okay, and then give them limited slots where they can actually come to you and book their free consultations. Now, because you have done all of this, there is familiarity and there is trust. There's familiarity and there is trust. There is a good chance that these people are going to buy your product. Okay, so when you call them to a webinar or a consultation or a phone call or a Zoom call or whatever it is, yeah, you're getting a customer who has already seen you 3 or 4 or 5 times. The familiarity is built. You've already talked to them about the why and the how, which leaves the what, which is who to do business with and which product to buy. At which point, when you bring them into the consultation, you can talk to them about their goals and you can suggest to them a particular product. Okay, this is not enough. Another thing that is an absolute killer that we teach in the Startup Launch program is that a lot of these commission selling products, they're very, very complicated. Yeah, they're very, very complicated. What does that mean? Is an insurance product or a mutual fund product, is it easy to buy? The answer is no, because hundreds of different options are there on money control and hundreds of different things have to be filtered through in the customer's mind before they say yes. The second thing is easy to sell. The answer is no, because they have to submit the documents, the documents have to go to somebody else and they have to submit their PAN card, and this whole drama has to go on for 2 or 3 days before either they cut the check or they cut the check and the check is accepted. And after that, the insurance company is going to give them a 30-day free look. Yes, it's a long process to get this commission of 15,000 rupees in your pocket, right? Long process, not easy to buy and not easy to sell. Okay, is it easy to consume? No, a customer is going to be locked in for at least 3 years, and then if they want really good return, they're going to make these premium payments for 10 years before they themselves see the gain in it, or they themselves see any benefit in it, assuming it's a equity linked plan or something like that. Yeah, so it's not easy to consume. Yeah, is it easy to deliver? Is it easy for you to go to their house, collect the check or collect the document, WhatsApp it to your back-end team, then WhatsApp them back saying, oh, this photo is not clear in your PAN card, can you resend me the PAN card? It's just a big headache. To get that 15 grand in your pocket, you want to make it easier. Yeah, so how do you do it? How do you do it? You create your own product. Okay, you create your own product, and this product should make the whole journey of onboarding a customer easy, and your own product should be chargeable. Okay, you should charge anywhere from 1,000 rupees to 3,000 rupees, or even higher. You can charge up to 5,000 rupees for this product and say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build out a customized portfolio for you based on exactly your goals, your current income, your savings, everything customized to you. Okay, and I'm going to make it with you, sitting with you for a period of at least 3 sittings of 30 minutes each, or 3 sittings of 1 hour each. Okay, and now what you're doing is that the time that you spend with them, the 3-hour face time that it takes for them to cut a check, you're making that whole time billable. You're making that whole time billable. Not only that, all those other customers, the 1 in 7 customers that were not going to cut a check, even those customers will probably pay you because this product is valuable for them. Yeah, they say, I may not want to buy an insurance policy worth 20,000 rupees premium every year, for the next 15 years or whatever. I may not be able to make that decision right now, but what this fellow is telling me is very interesting. Let me pay him $1,000 and let him do a portfolio management activity for me, or portfolio, like a portfolio building activity for me, something like that. Okay, and and then you charge these people 1,000 to 3,000 rupees, yeah, upfront for you to do a proper consultation with them. So what it does is your customer acquisition time, your lifetime customer value immediately increases. Let us say 1:7, you're going to make 15,000 rupees in commission from all the running around and everything. Let us say 3 of these guys paid you 2,000 rupees each. Now your lifetime customer value has become 6,000, is immediately increased to 21,000. Yeah, is immediately increased to 21,000. Secondly, the cost of acquiring this customer just got reduced because all of this time that you're spending with these customers, the number of hours and everything, they just became billable hours, so there ceased to be a cost. So all of the 3 hours that you're going to spend over here and the 1.5 hours that you're going to spend there, the 13 hours, now every time you spend with these 3 customers, the hours that you spent is roughly, let's say, about 6 to 7 hours in total. Now the only net cost to you is 6 hours because the other 6 to 7 hours are all billable. So there's not a cost. You're not wasting that time or investing that time hoping that one day all of this is going to change miraculously. My second-hand car will become a first-hand Mercedes and the sky is going to be blue and the birds are going to be tweeting in the sky, because it has not happened in the last 2 years, so it's not likely to happen in the next 3 years also. Okay, you're changing the entire model. You're changing the entire model. Instead of waiting for those commissions to come, so first pay that company, then that company will after 30 days pay me or something like that. Instead of making money all the way like this, you're making the money directly and saying, I'm an advisor. You never need to work with me or buy my insurance products. It's 20,000 rupees a year for the next 15 years. But get my consultation so that you never have to work with me again. And if you have anybody in your family that can actually sell you this product, you should absolutely buy from them. Yeah, but the decision taking always do with the most qualified guy in the room or the most qualified girl in the room, and I am the most qualified because I'm the best. Yeah, I am the absolute best. You can say that. Okay, and then people will say, okay, this person seems to be really valuable because I've already watched 5 to 7 of their videos. They seem to be talking the right thing. See, all of these things are what every salesperson is already doing, but it becomes in a high pressure situation when you're expecting them to cut a check. At that point, you're giving them all that valuable information. The information should be given with a clean heart to everybody, and the internet and Facebook makes it possible for you to do that. And once they decide that, you know what, this person has really added value to me, they're going to buy your front end product, which is not a lot of money spent anyway. Yeah, even if you're spending money in Facebook ad 3 to 5,000 rupees a month, you can convert all of that into money immediately. Yeah, in fact, in the startup launch program, we teach you how to track people who are watching these videos. We never recommend our students to send out these videos in WhatsApp and all this crappy spammy stuff. Always do it in a Facebook group, or always do it via a Facebook ad or something, and then track the number of people who are watching, because all this tracking etc. is available for free inside the Facebook algorithm. And then based on that, you can send them another message, you can send them another message. Yeah, with a little bit of spend in technology, maybe 1, 2, 3,000 rupees a month, you can also automate this whole process where not only is the Facebook algorithm tracking everybody who's watching, how many people watch your first video, how many people watch your second video. You can actually automate the process so that the second video, even if they missed it or something like that, they got disturbed, they get an automatic email or something like that which says, hey, just make sure you watch my video. I just released a special video for you or something like that, right? So we can automate this whole process to make sure that we are collecting a bunch of people from Facebook or wherever you can do it yourself. There are many of our customers who say, Facebook doesn't work for me. I have my own lead generation guys on the ground. That's fine. Your own lead generation guys should funnel everything, into a Facebook group, because after that your tracking can start. And then funnel everything down to where these customers are coming at you. They're coming to you for their consultation or something, and many of them, 1 in 3, 1 in 4 of them are paying you upfront to do a consultation for them. And then from there you can actually funnel them into your commissionable product, which is your insurance policy. Okay. Now doing that, our students have been able to, I showed you the 10,000 is to 15,000, which is you're basically creating 2 rupees into 3 rupees. That's how you're making your money today. Yeah. And that's what's got you to probably 50,000 rupees a month in commission levels. Using this model, you can reduce the cost of acquisition of a customer down to, let us say, 2,000 rupees or less. And the cost and the average lifetime value of a customer will actually increase to 25,000, 30,000 rupees or more. Because you see, what happens is once you give them a solid good consultation, they're going to give you more references, not because they want to give you more references, because they want to show you off to their other friends and family saying, which insurance agent do you use? They'll say, well, we use Mamaji's son's father-in-law. This person will say, this is nothing. I just met the coolest cat in the universe, and you just got to meet this guy, and you just got to get this guy or this gal to do a portfolio prediction for you. It's going to totally blow your brains. And then that's how you get more references also from them. Yeah, if you get lots of references from one person, well, Diwali is coming. Do send them a good 1 kilo Kaju Katli or a bottle of whiskey or something like that, right? So you can actually increase your 2,000 rupee cost per acquisition to 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 rupees. Okay, and that's how you can get into the big leagues starting in the next. You can implement all of this in the next 1 to 3 months. Okay, 1 to 3 months, right? When you are able to do that, when you're able to return more and more money on your investment, then don't be cheap on your journey to greatness. Then what you do is you hire a couple of guys to make sure that the phone calls are happening on time, to make sure the customers are feeling good. Hire a bunch of freelancers, create some reports, market reports, create some cool stuff that you can send to your customers so that they feel they get locked out of that money control mindset and they read your report first. Yeah. In our webinars, we show many people who are following the exact same model. Many of these people who are following this kind of a model, they're actually the market leader, become the market leaders in their industry, whether it is real estate, whether it is selling mutual funds, stock trading products, or becoming a stockbroker or something like that, right? So the way to get your customers to provide the valuable information upfront, let them take the decision, but track what they are doing at the back with your algorithm. And then when the time comes to close, get the money out for a product that you build, that belongs to you, that 100% commission comes to you, and it can be bought easily, sold easily, delivered easily, consumed easily, and the money transaction can happen instantly. Okay, that's how you monetize and lock in a customer. At which time you can tell them, if you don't want to buy your policies from me, if you still want to go and do business with Mamaji's son's father-in-law, you're more than happy to do it. But what are they going to say? They're going to say, well, you gave me so much of value, man. I believe you. I trust in you. I've met you so many times. I feel that you're a friend. Yeah, I understand why you say when you say this. I understand how you just helped me to get a handle on my finances. You know, they'll probably, don't be surprised, they'll start calling you like the Guruji or something like that, right? So yeah, that also happens a lot. Yeah, because in India, people are they're very, very grateful when you give them something of real value. They're likely to never forget if you did them a good turn. Okay, and a lot of this you're doing on your own time or you're doing on your own cost, and the internet makes it possible for you to expand your reach so that you don't have to manually make these phone calls all the time. You don't have to manually go to everybody's house all the time. They can do their decision taking online, and when the time comes to hit the hatchet, that time you can show up as the right person at the right place at the right time, thus reducing your overall cost per acquisition, increasing your lifetime customer value. And when you get some cash cushion, start employing people to do all of the drudgery work for you, and in return make the customer feel special too. Yeah, give them a call every couple of weeks saying, hey, this is what's happening with your portfolio. I don't know if you checked, even if they never log into their CAMS account or whatever that insurance account is, you should be the one calling them every couple of months and saying, this month the market has tanked. What your fund manager has done is they've moved around some funds. So if you look at your fund value, it's a little lower right now, but I can guarantee you that in 4 months it'll be higher. I wanted you to hear it from me before you hear it from the internet or you hear it in the news, because I'm here watching your portfolio and you can trust me. Yeah, you can build a running relationship with your customers so that every time they have money to spend or money to invest, or every time they see a friend of theirs who has money to spend or money to invest, they recommend you right there and say, you gotta work with this person. They're an absolute killer. I can guarantee you're gonna forget your Mamaji's son's father-in-law. You're gonna forget all those other guys in your family. That's how you siphon customers away from the market on a continual basis, and you cannot do it manually because time in the world, my friend, is limited, and energy is even more limited than time. Yeah. Now, I hope this was of value. I promised you I'm going to give you a resource. This webinar that I spoke to you about, I'll be having this webinar soon. I think in the next few days I'm having I think the date is not decided, but by the time you watch this video, the date will be decided. So what you want to do is you want to head on over to startupfrat.club/webinar. It's startupfrat.club/webinar. Yeah. So whenever we are going to meet, it's going to be primarily around performance marketing. We focus more on the multi-level marketing guys, because more than 40-50% of people who show up to the webinars are multi-level marketing guys. But we cover a lot of financial product selling, real estate selling as well. Yeah. So if you're in any type of commission selling, where your money is like coming all the way around like this, then you will gain from this particular session. At the end of this session, we also have members only discounts that we roll out for Hangout Club members, where you can get to access our services if you want our help to implement all of this for you in the next 3 to 5 weeks in a concerted fashion. All of this done for you. You know, you have your Facebook group running, you have your Facebook algorithm running, you know what to say on camera, you know how to say on camera, everything is, you know, it's all sorted for you. Then you will also get a members only offer at the end of this webinar. So if that interests you, then absolutely show up and spend 2 hours with me live, and I will look forward to seeing you either in the Hangout in the next video, or I will look forward to seeing you at the webinar. See you. Bye-bye.